Hey Gemini, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for November 3rd, 2025. This is for Gemini. Last shuffle for Gemini. Let's see what's going on. Hopefully, Gemini, it is good. I'm hearing tell me something good in the background. I love it when that happens, man. But either way, you got stuck energy and transformation. And so this tells me that you may feel like you are trapped in a change. So like your life has changed, right? Transformation speaks of I left something behind. Almost like a portal. Like when you look at where your life was based on where you are, no matter how much time has passed, you're looking at it's like it's unrecognizable. And you may still be in the center of the change. Usually when transformation comes out, you're going to be very successful. Do not be dismayed. Trust this process. Trust it. It doesn't seem like if they're telling you you should, that means that it feels like you can't. You know what I mean? That's the part. They're saying that what you may be stuck in is how your life has been changed. You may be looking at life going, I've done everything I was supposed to do. I was a king of wands. I did what was best for everybody around me. I made sure I was responsible. Whatever my ambitions were, it was for the betterment of everybody involved. The king of wands is usually depicted as a person who, say, like it's the president, right? You make a lot of big ticket decisions based on the majority of the people or what's best for everyone involved, including the little people. Like whatever choice you make, everyone's like, oh, they just did it for the check. And it's like, if you look at how much a president gets paid, they don't get paid as much as you think. They're not rolling in the dough, unless someone is, they're being endorsed or they're being, what's the word I'm looking for? Sponsored or something, right? Because the pay. You look at things, the management of a company. We look at the manager, we're like, oh, they be getting paid though, so it doesn't matter. And sometimes you look at what the pay for the management versus what they have to do. You're like, oh, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. For me, I look at sometimes when I really do I do my due diligence and look it up. I'm like, yeah, they're not getting paid enough to be there all day and getting blamed for everything. I'm sorry, but for many of you, um, the stuck energy would be in I did what was best for everyone. I worked my butt off. I took off no days, yet my life still got transformed. Tower is about things changing out of your control. You don't know when lightning's going to strike. You can't control that, right? You can try to like prevent a lightning strike from happening. Like you're not going to run down, um, a football field as fast as you can with an umbrella, a metal umbrella. You're not going to do that, but sometimes you could do everything and you still get struck. And so there's something about saying, like you could have done everything to prevent it and you still get struck, kind of thing. So they're showing here that a lot of you may be sitting in your decisions. Like, what else could I have done? But they're telling me that that's a view from an egotistical place. And they want you to trust that everything was for your benefit and everything is meant to be used by you to build a better life. So it's time to move on. They're like, it's time to move on. All of this was meant to give you a fighting chance for a new life. You got to know your worth. First of all, anytime that we go back and we say, what else could I have done? It's like you're giving your worth away. Like this is what someone has done, what someone has said to me, then I'm giving my worth away by focusing on how they could have deceived me or done me so dirty. That's like giving it away to them. Like, oh, they have impacted me in such a way. And it's like you're worth more and you know this. You also need to release your guilt for moving on too. Some of you may be moving on going, I probably should have given someone a second chance, or I probably should have done this or that. And they're like, let go of your guilt. Your guilt might be holding you back. Move on. They're like, move on. You're coming out in spades as far as being a good person. And you may not see that at this point. That's why spirit is making you sit in something for a minute to get you to see that you are being conveyed as a very good person. Even if whatever it was, you may have said, well, if only I didn't talk about his mother or her mother, they wouldn't have done me so wrong. It's like, oh, well, their mother needed to be talked about. No offense to people and their mom. I kid you not. I'm just throwing this out here because they're telling me something about a person that's like, I did you dirty because you said this about my mom. And I'm like, what in the world? Why is this coming to me? I don't know who had that conversation. So I'm just bringing that up. They're like, oh, well, release your guilt. Just know that you are pure magic. You should say that as much as you can. I am just pure magic. Okay. Look into your Pluto placements as well, because it speaks of the transformation you're meant to go through. You're meant to be reborn. Your life was meant to be reborn so that you could be successful. You are meant for success. You are meant for greatness. Okay, I'm seeing angel number 2002. You do have more control over your life than you realize. Just because the tower has come in doesn't mean you have no control. But the tower does mean, honestly, that if they didn't come in, you would have continued on the path that you were on, which was not meant for you. It always happens that way. It usually happens to fixed signs, which is hilarious to me. Although you may be mutable, it tells me that you may have just gone along with it just to get along. And they would have been like, you know what? You, in the long run, you would have never fulfilled your purpose, and you were needed to fulfill your purpose, even if your purpose, it feels minuscule to you. Just as important, like being the influence in a child's life could be your purpose completely. I say this because I read something, and this is in high school, man. The nanny of Hitler's nanny. They were like, if she had not been in his life, he would have turned out XYZ in this way and that way, right? And I'm like, you don't realize your purpose. Just you changing a diaper could change the world. Just you being kind to one child or one person in that one 15-second moment, just smiling at that person. Your purpose was to be just intriguing enough for that person to go, life could be good, and then they change the trajectory of their life. Maybe they don't go and bomb this place or shoot up this spot or something, because they're like, well, there is good people out here. Maybe that was the sign they were looking for, and you chose to be the sign. You just don't know how it. And I know this is all like crass. I hope this doesn't get flagged because of the words I used, but I'm so serious about how sometimes we don't realize what our purpose truly is. And if you would have stayed in this situation, you might have missed that opportunity, and you would have been sad because whoever you were dealing with was an egotistical jerk, and they would have buried you. And you know what I mean? And then you would have finally sprouted out at a certain point, and you realize, oh my gosh, like I feel like I missed the boat on something. And that's the worst feeling to have when you're in your 80s laying in your bed. You know what I mean? I met a lot of people like that. I met a lot of people, and at the end of life, in the deepest of regrets, that I should have done this. And I mean, the power behind what they're saying broke me, bro, will bring me to tears. Like, it reminds me every day I should do everything I can every single day, even when I'm tired, even when I'm sick. Do what I can, because I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel that. I think that's one of the worst feelings, man. But they want you to let go of feeling guilty, like maybe you could have done more. Let go of thinking about what someone has done to you, and to remember that you did the best that you could. King of Wands, King of Swords, Knight of Pentacles in the Tower is that you did everything you could within your capabilities. Okay, and they want you to ask yourself, if you could be anything, if you could do anything, what would that be? The answer is in your heart. Okay, they want you to also forgive your parents. Some of you, your parents were amazing, but the forgiving of the parents would be that my parents made life so amazing that I made very naive decisions. So maybe you look at them and go, they never freaking told me about narcissists, though. Maybe they never told me about this. Maybe they didn't love me enough. Maybe they didn't take me seriously enough when I was explaining that I was going through XYZ. They could have helped me. Maybe those things. Who knows? But they're asking you to forgive your parents, because that's what's holding you back also. You need to wear blue, use blue to activate your healing power. And blue is directly and very closely correlated with our throat chakra. Okay. And the throat chakra, it's about hearing usually, but it represents, or the throat chakra is basically located in the throat, and it's responsible for like the thyroid gland, which is responsible for your metabolism and your hormone regulation. But it's also, the neck, the jaw, the mouth, and the vocal cords. So when it's balanced, you're able to clearly communicate. And there's a it's almost like you're able to foster clear communication with other people as well. You're able to express yourself authentically, creatively, and speak your freaking truth, right? But when it's unbalanced, you feel a shyness. You may be like how sometimes I do, where I have a hard time because I'm always concerned about how to convey what I'm saying in a way where it's understood. And so I may stutter or I double think. And I think pretty quickly. So as soon as the words are about to hit my lips, I'm like, well, let me say it this way. So maybe you could be in that space, but also you unbalanced would be a fear of speaking up. You may be dishonest, right? No, there's no problem. Meanwhile, there's a big problem, or you may suppress your emotions. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. That's the biggest lie we all tell, though. I can't tell you how many times I've lied to people. I'm okay. Knowing good and well, I feel like doing some stuff I shouldn't be doing. I'm mad. No, I'm fine. I'm not angry. I don't know if you ever saw the Key and Peele skit with Megan, and she's like, I'm not angry. And she's mad completely. That was the funniest skit in life. You understand? Key and Peele are the dynamic duo of the funniest people. If you watch their skits, you will be, if you're not in tears, then who are you? You're not crying, laughing because that Megan one was so. No, I'm not angry. I'm not. It's like the way she said I'm not angry was like, oh my gosh, you're in trouble, bro. Um, Now, the things that you may experience if your throat chakra is blocked or if it's unbalanced would be sore throats. There's a lot of sore throat. Like this would be like for no reason, right? Or you, of course, with the metabolism and such, you may your immune system may be dysregulated also. So you would experience a lot of like laryngitis, frequently thyroid issues, even jaw tension, neck pain. So you may feel like a lot of tension, or you may grind your teeth at night and things like that, because you didn't get to say what the heck you felt like you needed to say during the time. You may experience a fear of speaking, really, and feeling misunderstood, difficulty expressing thoughts or emotions. And so sometimes you may find that you can't even pronounce your words because you're so nervous, which you get to see that. I mean, all of us, I feel like a lot of us get that after a certain point. Some people I meet are like the clearest speakers and they never have a problem and they always express themselves and they stay really balanced. And I'm always in awe of people who are so balanced all the time. um I'm always like like, no, 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 just talk. I like to see you talk. But either way, you should listen to 741 hertz frequency music. And so that would be, you could find that on YouTube. Different channels, you search it up, you could find it. Find the one that really resonates with you, listen to it. You could listen to it whatever volume works for you. Even down low works well too, because it still activates. It still like subliminally helps to free things up for you. You want to use these crystals by wearing them, putting them in your pocket, having them on the desk, in your car, wherever the heck, in your bag, whatever. Lapis lazuli, you got aquamarine, blue lace agate, sodalite, and turquoise, which helps you to be empathetic to what you hear and are able to communicate in an clearly, but empathetically as well. So you're able to get your point across. You want to use these specific oils, and you would want to wear them. You could wear them. You could diffuse them in a diffuser. I like to put them directly on my, like, mix them and stuff. I like to mix little elixirs, like this is my throat chakra mix. So you could use peppermint, eucalyptus, lavender, sandalwood, chamomile. You could also do those teas, some of them, right? Not sandalwood, but the rest of them, right? Make some teas with this. You would want to drink lots of liquids. Licorice is also a good one, a good a good herb with peppermint. Herbal teas, fruits, like especially berries, are good. And you want to spend time near water. Also, use your voice, like chant, sing, do some creative activities. You want to sing in the shower, sing in your tub, hum in the tub. Use your voice in nature. Journal, just to clear that space up, because they want you to trust that it's time to move on from something. I'm seeing angel number 2002, like I said, and they're talking about how you got to focus on your interests right now, and maybe not what you could have done and what you should have done and what you hope to do, and as far as feeling guilty about moving on, if you feel that in any an ounce of guilt, you'll want to put, switch that around towards your interests. Okay, so if you're like a basket weaver, start weaving a basket. As soon as you start feeling bad, just start weaving. I'm just so serious with that. It does, things will get better with time, and there you're going to meet new people. That's another thing. Angel number 2002 promises meeting new people, having fun, get out, go take a class if you got to, and some with something that interests you, though, not like, okay, I'm going to take a class and learn how to trade stock. I mean, unless it's interesting to you, right? Unless you really want to learn, they want you to just turn your focus onto something else beneficial so that you may heal. Okay. The transformation 5 of Wands, Knight of Cups speaks a lot about how we are, like, the change that we're in the middle of, right? We're in the midst of a change here, and it feels like a struggle. That's what this tells me. It feels like a freaking struggle, right? It feels like, you know what? I can't rely on anything. The answer is within you. That's the promise of this transformation, that you've got the answers already. Okay. Yeah. They want you to psychoanalyze the situation as well, is what I'm getting. Psychoanalyzing by seeing, more so looking at looking at it in its entirety, and then going, there's a way I could use this to my advantage, right? Like turning pain into profit, kind of thing. Like maybe you're telling your story, especially with throat chakra and blue energy. You're telling your story in a way where it's funny and you get paid for it or something. Like how Kevin Hart, although he's a Cancer, like he turned his story into comedic gold, but that was at the beginning. I don't know what's going on with him now. I don't really watch. When he first came out, I used to watch because it was so funny when he tell the story about his uncle. I think his Uncle Junior, was it Uncle Junior? I don't know. Where the guy, he's like, how do you get hit and loose change falls out your pocket? And that used to have me in tears just thinking about the commentary. It's like he turned painful situations into something hilarious. And now, when I look back, I'm like, oh, that's sad, actually. But all's well. You know, Teacher is the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles, and so this is a person in your space that you may feel sabotages things. They This is someone who has shown you how to sabotage your life by holding on to something. This would be a person. You'll know who this is because they're not really saying, but they're saying it's a person that that may have uh, sabotaged their entire life because they wouldn't let something go. It's, that's taught you a lesson. You need to move on. Look at what happened to them and move on, is what they're saying. 6 of Cups and the Page of Cups. Wow. Now, this sacred temple energy speaks about being in the right place at the right time, being in that holy place, right? Where you are the light, wherever you're standing. And they're telling me that you were a light. You were in past tense as well. So that may have been holding you up, going, well, what the heck was I doing? What was I, chopped liver in that situation? They're like, you were a light. You were a beacon of light to other people. And you shine even brighter when you walk away from things that don't work for you. When the situation started to become, or to like dissolve, or turn into a bunch of foolishness, you walking away was the best thing you could have ever done. And you shone so bright during that phase when you walked away. They're showing that you are moving yourself towards things that um, align with you better. So that's what you were meant to do. And they were saying it requires minimal effort. All it required was for you to just move on. You can't stay in a situation where something or someone refuses to freaking change. That's just crazy, right? For you, it's crazy. For this person, they want to sabotage their life. Watch them fall apart. That's what they want to do. Cool. Do your thing, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like, go in and do it. Do what you got to do. Today of all days, they're kind of throwing out here that this is a perfect day to look to adopt new concepts or routines that work, right? To do things that would work better for you. So look to doing that, right? Don't let your ego slow you down, because like someone else's ego put them in a situation where you're just looking at them now, shaking your head like, look what you put yourself through. Jeez. I'm seeing Pluto placements. I'm even seeing heavy Capricorn placements in this as well. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, an Aquarius, a Sagittarius, another Gemini, or Taurus. I said Scorpio, right? Taurus, I'm seeing as well. I'm also seeing Cancer and Pisces as well. So you could be a Taurus Gemini cusp or a Gemini Cancer cusp. I'm seeing Libra Scorpio cusp, Virgo Libra cusp, Scorpio Sagittarius cusp. If you're not dealing with those signs, which you don't have to be, these signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.